So, you're thinking of quitting your job, or you saw a YouTube video that hyped you up into starting your own business and becoming a next millionaire? And of course, why not? Right now, we're seeing so many people leaving their jobs, quitting their jobs, and starting their own thing. I think it's never been easier. And as people talked about the Great Resignation, we might potentially enter another recession where a lot of people might get laid off. So why not be early to the game, quit while you can, on your own terms, and then start your own business? And why not, right? Imagine all the time you dedicate working for somebody else, you could be spending working on your own business and building your own income, and in the end, wealth, which might be way more profitable than a salary can ever provide you with. But I think it's also very important to understand the risks and some of the points that you should be thinking about before quitting your job. And number one is answering yourself, why do you want to quit your job? What's in it for you? What's driving you to do this? Is it just the fact of saying, wow, I have my own business? Or do you really think you're going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg millionaire in a month from now? Because if it's purely money driving you, then honestly, I have bad news for you. It may not be the right thing for you, because it can take months, even years, until you really make some serious money or potentially replace your current salary. So if it's purely financially driven, then I'm not sure it's the best idea. It can work, definitely, but it might also not. Other reasons you might want to try it is because proving it to yourself. For me, when I see other people succeeding where I think, wow, they're really not that smart, it really encourages me to also start my own thing, because, if they can do it, I can certainly do it. And yes, there might be a little arrogance about it, but I think you have to be a little bit arrogant and self-confident, believing yourself, because if you don't do, nobody else will. Nobody pushes you into being successful. It has to come from yourself. And lastly, and I think for many, myself included, is the freedom. Being able to work when I want, and especially where I want, is gold. I want to be location independent, and I don't want to have to ask for holiday, and I don't have enough holidays anymore, and I can't go. So if I feel I want to work from Barcelona or London, then I don't want to ask for permission to go there for a while. I just want to go there and start working from there, right? There's many co-working spaces, etc. You can stay in an Airbnb or hotel. So I think that's amazing flexibility, which I really appreciate. And I really know I want to have this in my life, and not going for it is something I would always regret. So definitely that's why I will one day quit my job. But that's my personal why. You have to find your own why, what motivates you and why you really want this. Not because somebody on YouTube tells you to quit your job, but you have to find your own why. Otherwise you will run out of motivation, out of steam. It's all nice and romantic to think about this, but the real life of an entrepreneur, of having your own business, is not always as glamorous as it sounds and looks on social media. So really find your why so you can endure during tough times. Another very important point for you to consider and do before you decide to quit your job is really being on top of your finances. How much do you spend every single month? And I mean really go through every single expense to really understand how much are your monthly outgoings. Because at the very least, you want to be in a position where you'll be able to cover those expenses, because otherwise, over time, you're going to start running out of money. And of course, once you start your business, you're not going to make the same as you did in your previous job. Highly unlikely. So if you project you're going to be making 2,000 euros or dollars in your first few months of starting your business, but your outgoings, your mortgage, your rent, your car lease, your insurance, what have you, is 3,000 or 4,000, then you can do the math. That's not really financially sustainable. And that's why it's also so important to have some savings. At least 6 to 12 months will really give you that added comfort. Because trust me, once you have a month without any incomings, I can tell you, you will feel the pressure. At least majority of people don't really work well under pressure. Personally, I actually like the pressure, because if I'm in the comfort zone, I'm comfortable. So I like that pressure. For most people, I really advise have some savings, because otherwise you're going to be forced to deliver. And depending on what you choose, you may not be very creative under pressure. I actually know quite a few people who wanted to start their own business, quit their job, and then went for a couple of months. They didn't make the money they expected, and then fell to the pressure and quit because they were so scared that they won't have any money left. So then they saved themselves back into another job just to make sure they have enough cushion. So that's very important. Have enough savings on the side so you can get through a period of having no income at all, potentially, and make sure definitely you don't have any debt outstanding. Because if you have a high mortgage payment and you don't make these payments, they might take possession of your house, and you don't want to be in a situation like that. And of course, if you don't have as much incomings as you used to have, make sure you also trim your living expenses accordingly, because we all have this lifestyle inflation creep, right? The more we earn, the more our lifestyle increases, which is nice, right? I mean, we travel more, we spend more on clothing if you have more income. But once again, if the income goes down, you should also really consciously go through every single subscription expense that you have and make sure, do I really need this, or can I cut this out to lower my monthly expenses? And that can really help you out a lot. And the last point, and I think most important point, if you're really serious about quitting your current job, don't just quit and then think, let's see what I'm gonna do. Have a plan in place before, and more importantly, start working and executing on that plan beforehand while you're still employed. I'm definitely not saying to cheat your employer and do the work on your side hustle while you're employed on your other job, because that just wouldn't be right. But what I'm saying is we all have weekends. We all have before work, after work. Use this time while you're still employed and get the comfort of a monthly paycheck to start working on your dreams, putting things, measures, procedures, your website, whatever it is in place, and ideally start to make already a little bit of income so you have this comfort of having some kind of security coming up. Because once again, otherwise you're going to be so stressed out and saying, oh, now I have to deliver, and it might actually take some time. There's always a ramp up period of any business, right? No business I know starts making money like this. It always takes time. So for myself, I'm doing the same. Of course, if I quit my job tomorrow, at least I have a little bit of income from YouTube. Of course, it's way too little to pay for my monthly living expenses, but at least there's a little bit of income. So that gives me some confidence. And at the same time, on my weekends and after work, I'm working on a website and a business plan, company logos to put in place so that when the day comes and I do quit, I can really put my name behind my new project, put it out to the world and start delivering, not having a ramp up period and see coming soon, etc. So yeah, I think that's super, super important. And a lot of people underestimate it. They just say, okay, I quit and then we'll see what comes. And that's never really a good strategy. So guys, please don't think you have to quit your job in order to be successful. I always say it's probably better to be number 20 in Apple than to be a mediocre entrepreneur who says he's an entrepreneur and CEO and founder on his LinkedIn bio, but actually just gets by and hardly pays their bills. So I think there's nothing wrong with being employed. Statistically speaking, more people in the world should be employed than people running businesses, because every business owner usually needs some kind of employees. And I think we have to celebrate successful employees building a career as well. Of course, having your own business opens up so many opportunities, freedom, and of course, financial upside. So ultimately it comes down to who you are, what you want, and answering the why you want to be an entrepreneur or having your own business. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want more content like this, let me know in the comments, and I'll be super excited to speak more about creating and starting your own business. If you enjoyed the video, then please give it a like, subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me. As always, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.